the three of us were discussing before the show that this quarterback competition, we have lowered the bar so much, because I was thinking about this as I was catching up when I got back from my little trip. I saw a tweet from you where you talked about the best throw. I don't know if I heard G. Bush say something or read a tweet from him. I can't remember now. And there was it was like 4 or 5 people that I either heard say something or tweet something about the best throw of the day. And I thought to myself, and I said this to Jason before, when do we ever talk about the best throw? Have we ever had that conversation before this? Maybe last year too. Like,
I mean, objectively, the throw I'm talking about was a really nice throw from
Mike,
Shedeur.
Who cares?
Well, I just said it was the best throw of the day.
I don't say this to make fun of you. I say this because that's the bar. We lowered the bar so much that we're trying to get ourselves excited
I said
about
Monday,
the best throw of the day.
The bar is on the
Yeah,
ground.
The bar is on the ground. We can't even play limbo with the bar.
Well, my context of the tweet was Deshaun was the better quarterback. Shedeur had the best throw.
I know
Neither was
that.
that impressive. So I was just giving the yin and the yang to that.
It wasn't a knock on you. It just shows the state of the competition.
Fine. Okay.
I'm saying in other towns, even where there may have been quarterback competitions, like let's say Kirk Cousins and
you know what?
Mendoza.
I actually think in Pittsburgh this is going on.
You think they're saying
I
who's
do.
making the best throw of the day?
Between Aller and
Howard.
I do think that
They're saying best throw of the day.
I bet you there's some guys doing
That's when you know things are bad. So it's bad there too. You want either of those guys your starting quarterback either? I don't.
No,
No,
not right now.
So that's just the sad state of affairs. That it's like both guys stink. So who made the best throw of the day? I think I said I couldn't watch. I don't know if I said it on the air. I couldn't watch the Browns preseason game live, so I had to watch it after, right? So I saw the posts about Deshaun playing pretty well, blah blah blah, and then I went back and watched the game, and I'm like, what are people talking about? He didn't play well.
I thought he played well in the first quarter. I say he played well in the first quarter and burned the tape everything after that.
Yeah.
But just think about what you're saying.
Yes, I know. But he did what was asked of him.
He was serviceable.
They didn't ask
in the first quarter.
They didn't ask much of him.
I know,
but at least he delivered what they asked for in the first quarter.
Again, that shows you where the bar is.
We were excited that they converted a 1st and 25. We were like, oh my God.
Yes.
The Browns converted a 1st and 25.
Yeah.
Because last year I joked, if they get a holding call, punt. If it's 2nd and 20, punt. It's only going to get worse on 3rd down.
I got to tell you, I do feel like the Browns are in a better position with young talent than they've been in forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like at between Schlesinger and Graham and Verse and Emmanuel McNeil Warren
and Concepcion and Boston and Judkins and Fannin. The list goes on and on. They have a lot of young talent on this roster.
Like, I like all these players, but they have no chance. And this year, I'm sorry, and fans are going to get mad at me, especially the Shedeurians. No, they're not going to get mad at this because they're not Brown. Well, some of them are Browns fans, but there's a good percentage of the Shedeurians that are just Shedeur fans and will be gone if he is not here. The best case scenario for the Browns is to be the worst team in football this year. That is the best case scenario, to get the first pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to go 0-17, which they won't, obviously.
No,
but
they won't.
I don't even know that they'll be the worst team in football. I think they could be.
I don't think they will be.
They're too talented to be.
No, it's like it over the top.
Compared
over the top.
Compared to some of the other teams, no, they are too talented to be.
They have good young talent. No, they're not too talented to be the worst team.
I disagree.
They have no depth. They have no quarterback.
But
their
Arizona, Miami, the other teams have the same exact situation as the Browns, with worse in certain positions, minus a lot of the young talent.
Yeah, but they both at least have a chance for serviceable quarterback play, an outside shot. Browns have no chance of that. You know that.
I'd take the other two over this, but I'm not saying
Browns,
no shot.
See, here's the difference. The Browns are a quarterback away from being a good, at least a decent team. They're not a quarterback away from winning. They have no depth. They have no offensive line. Their offensive line stinks. It's not going to be any better than it was. I mean, it might be better than it was at the end of last year when it was like the worst in the league. But it's not going to. We know their offensive line is not going to be good. They have no chemistry. They've not played together.
You can't say that yet, Bull.
All right.
We haven't seen.
I
we haven't
speak in
seen
absolutes, even when it's not an absolute. It's probably not going to be good. Is that better?
I don't think it's a top 10 unit, but they spent money that it
That's
better
irrelevant.
be good.
It's not going to be good.
It better be competent.
It probably won't be.
Well, that's a
Certainly-
giant failure on Andrew Berry.
Certainly not in the beginning of the year. The Browns are behind the 8 ball, and I know I'm bouncing from thing to thing, and I'll shut up so you guys can go. But the Browns, especially in the beginning of the year, you have a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator. Your quarterbacks stink, and the starter hasn't been picked, so he's not doing what starters would do. Your offensive line's been injured. Most of them have never played together outside of a couple of practices. So there's going to be a chemistry issue there. And all your good players on offense are either rookies or second-year guys. Now, I love the 2 rookie wide receivers. I think they're both going to be hits. I love Judkins. I love Fannin. I mean, even Bond has grown on me. That's really a good core.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and again, obviously the rookies have to prove it. They haven't done anything for real yet. But everything looks very promising with that group of 5 skill position players. But the rest of the offense is absolute trash. Absolute trash. And I just don't see it being any good. Being good enough. Those guys are not deep. The good young players are not good enough yet to overcome what I think will be terrible quarterback play and terrible offensive, or at best below average offensive line play. So there you go. That's my rant.
What's crazy is the question that Ant wanted us to answer. This first topic was, will the quarterback battle be determined more by on-field play or off-field play? Which, Jason, I'll let you answer.
What is off-field? How do we define off-field? see it.
In the meetings, in the huddles, like what the coaches are actually seeing.
Oh, so not money. You're not talking about the money.
No. He means in the building.
I had that in parentheses in the rundown, just so you know.
I know that, but I forgot. Okay, so what do you guys think?
I'll let Jason start because he hasn't said a word yet.
I've said plenty.
Then I'll start. I can't get a quote from Todd Monken out of my head. And a couple weeks ago, he was talking to Cam Wolf of NFL Network / ESPN now, and he said that each quarterback had to get better at certain things. We talked about each one of those quotes in the show.
Yeah.
And it was Deshaun cutting down on turnovers and continuing to just take the singles. And for Shador, it was getting in out of the huddle quicker, cutting down on some of the mental mistakes. So, quote, I don't get anxiety as a coach coaching you. If Todd Monken is saying that a certain quarterback is giving him anxiety because of some of the things that, not when the play starts, but getting in and out of the plays, then I think at the end of the day, we all want it to be based off who performs better in the games, who makes the better throws in games, in practices. But from a coaching standpoint, it comes down to who can you trust more? Who are you confident can execute what you are asking them to do? It comes down to trust. And if Todd Monken says one of these guys is potentially giving him anxiety as a coach, then I think it is going to come down to ultimately, if it's close on the field, to all the non-on the field in the game stuff, in and out of huddles, understanding what the defense is doing, being able to make audibles at the line of scrimmage, which Shador may be able to do.
But isn't that on
Deshaun
the field
may be able
too?
to do.
I mean,
Well,
that's
technically it's in the parameters of on the field.
Yeah.
But I think it's the once the play starts stuff.
All
Once
right.
the play starts, we as viewers have the ability to analyze and compare and contrast what Deshaun did on this throw versus what Shador did on that throw. We don't understand the communication that's going on before the huddle, in the locker room, in team meetings, in film. And I think at the end of the day, if the on-field performance is close, all the non-real play situation is going to weigh more heavily in Todd Monken's decision than I ever thought it would before this quarterback battle started.
Yeah, and the on-field, and frankly, Watson's been, as bad as he is, has been better on-field than Shador of late.
Yeah, I mean, listen, on practice, like, we see this much.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they've been together since January. And Todd knows these guys better than anybody.
Yeah, right.
And knows what they see on film when they're sitting there in the film room and they're going over plays or whatever. So the on-field stuff is like the end product, and obviously you have to produce and you have to deliver.
Yeah.
And if one guy was significantly better than the other on the field, probably would have meant something.
Yeah.
I don't think that one has been significantly better than the other in the totality of from OTAs until today. I don't think one has been dramatically better than the other. So then it goes to everything else, and it goes to which one, kind of what you were saying, it goes to which one Todd trusts more.
And
that's who's going to start.
Right, and in the end, we could all say, and it's very likely true, that it's a total waste of time to play Deshaun Watson.
It
It is.
But
100%.
But Todd Monken doesn't care about. Todd Monken only cares about, I assume, which quarterback he thinks gives him a better chance to win. Maybe gives them a better chance for their young players to learn and get better. And if he thinks that's Deshaun Watson, that's who he's going to play, whether we think it's stupid and we all agree it's stupid.
We all agree, yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Shedeur Sanders has had a legitimate chance to win the job, and he hasn't.
Absolutely.
I don't think.
Absolutely true.
Yeah, you obviously last year he didn't have a legitimate chance to win the job. There's no doubt.
He wasn't ready.
That's fine. People went over the top with the criticism about it, but he didn't have. This year he had a legitimate chance to win the job, and he hasn't.
It was a 1v1 battle.
Yeah.
And as of this point, and I think we all can sense the way the wind is blowing, it's going to be Deshaun Watson. And I don't think going into this, and maybe you can disagree, I know coming out of the owners' meetings, you said you truly believe that Deshaun Watson and the Browns, they thought he was going to be the starter. But I think Todd Monken came into this with an open mind saying, Deshaun, Shedeur, we're going to see these two side by side throughout training camp, throughout minicamp, throughout OTAs, throughout preseason. Who gives me the better chance to win? That's who I'm going to choose as a starting quarterback. And for one reason or another, because I agree with you, there is no point at all to playing Deshaun Watson. There's no long-term benefit in my mind to playing Deshaun Watson. I would much rather see Shedeur Sanders play. I think Todd Monken's going to pick Deshaun Watson to be his week 1 starting quarterback.
But ultimately, though, we could say it's a waste to play Watson, which it is. But if Todd Monken thinks Shedeur Sanders has zero chance of being a legitimate starter, then there's really no point. You could say there's no point playing him either.
Totally agree.
Right? So at this point, he's got to think, well, which guy can help my young players more? I don't know. And maybe he thinks that's Watson for whatever reason. But I think we'll know for sure because he has said that, and I was talking with Zach Jackson this morning, that Watson was going to play after Shedeur this week against the Bills. But if he doesn't play, then that tells me it's over.
It's over. Yeah. If he doesn't play against Buffalo, it's over. We know, or at least Todd has told us, you don't believe anything Todd says. So
that the starters are not going to play.
We think that they're going to split reps in joint practice, Deshaun and Shedeur against Buffalo's defense.
Yeah.
Shedeur is going to start on Saturday, and then Deshaun's supposed to play the third quarter. If they get enough reps, though, Monken said none of the starters are really going to play.
Right.
So if that means none of the starters and Deshaun doesn't play, you can read into that however you would like to read into that.
Zach suggested Monday he will announce the starter. Do we agree with that? Or do you think he'll not announce it during the press conference on Monday, then they'll put a press release later on Monday?
Well, he'll talk. It's whenever he talks to the players.
Right.
So I think Monday.
Monday's the day. Yeah. Monday's the day.
I trust Zach.